Hey everybody, welcome back to Gun Tote Minnesota. My name is Andrew and this is an L.L.Bean rain jacket. You can see how it fits. You know, I'm not going to become any sort of fashion or a channel dedicated to clothes or outdoor clothes even. It's just not something I'm probably going to spend a lot of time on. But because I'm a big guy, I'm 6'5", about 240, 250 pounds, somewhere in there, depending on if we're close to Thanksgiving, which right now we are. Around that time, closer to 250, and most of the clothes that you're going to see in the stores, guys, it's just not good for big guys. It's hard for us to find stuff that's long enough. Most of the time, things are very short, so we have to go online. And most of you don't have an L.L.Bean really close to you. I don't even have one very close to me. I think the nearest one is an hour away, and they might not have everything in store for me to try on. So I took a risk. I tried one of their large talls here, and this is the fit that I went with. And it works pretty good. I'm going to take this off for a second and talk through the product a little bit. Okay, I think I said large tall a second ago. It's an extra large tall. I'm going to start off with the hood. First of all, the hood has an adjustment feature here with some Velcro, so you can make it fit if you have a really big head or you need it to actually cover over. Because I use this when it's actually raining out and the conditions are harsh, I like to leave the hood a little bit bigger. I don't want it to meet just right here. I want it to actually cover my face somewhat, and I usually have a ball cap on facing forward, and that just helps the water rain and run off of my head. I have used this in the rain now 4 or 5 times. Nothing like a downpour, but steady rain, and it hasn't gotten me wet at all. So I'm just going to say that really quick right off the bat so people understand top to bottom. I haven't had any water penetrate any of the seams. Everything seems to be done really well. The coating that this has, I'm sure it's just a coating. The coating that this has held up so far, maybe 5 or 6 rains, and I'm pretty happy with it. It's very lightweight. Moving on down from the hood, there are some adjustments here for the hood. If you want to tighten that down, ratchet it so that it kind of hugs your face a little more, that's easy to do. On the inside, you do have a coat hanger hook, which I always appreciate personally. The inside mesh is breathable. It's not going to be as breathable as something that's twice the price, and so don't kid yourself. It's not going to be quite there, but this is actually still pretty good. I don't find myself sweating in this too much. I actually find that it does seem to breathe a little bit. It's also just a touch big for me, just a little bit big for me. That might be part of it. It just allows for some of that air to flow through. When it's raining though, and I zip it up, it still fits the right way. Moving on, looking at the inside, you do have this mesh, which is technically just the pocket of your exterior pocket, but there's a little bit of something here for the top, and if you wanted to run a pair of headphones through here, you could run a pair of headphones. It does have a stitch on the bottom to keep something like your phone on the inside if you want to keep it warmer or dry. You're worried about exterior pockets. You want to run some headphones if you're not using wireless headphones. You could probably run something through there. I oftentimes keep a pair of gloves in there for when it's not raining out. Just a light pair of gloves so that my hands stay warm in Minnesota winters, you know. And I will say that I do actually plan to use this throughout the winter with something a little thicker underneath. It's really nice to have this type of material versus the PVC type material in the winter. This is a little more flexible, and even in the cold, I don't find it to be too crackly. It's still fairly comfortable and not super loud. You can see the other pockets that are on the inside. Really not that much more to show you on the inside. Now let's talk about the outside. The zipper actually works really nice. It's a good quality zipper. I do find that if I'm going really fast, if I zip it and I run up really fast, I can make it snag, but it's pretty rare. So for what it's worth, it really doesn't seem to snag too much. It's mostly just if I go up too fast and I'm starting down here and ripping it up, it can snag just a little bit. But I haven't had a huge issue with that. I'm going to turn my hat around so I can cover up with a hood. If you already are wearing a sweater like I am, I find the hood to be plenty big enough. The pockets are actually pretty generous sized pockets. I find that I can fit a lot in them. I put a full pair of binoculars and all my camera gear and a water bottle in them, and my wallet and my keys and a couple extra things in this pocket up here. There's a generous amount of space here, and it doesn't sag on the body. It seems like it holds it up pretty well vertically. It's probably because of the structure and material that is a little more durable, a little thicker mill than some other kinds of coats out there that are ultralight coats. The cuffs, I didn't talk about this yet. The cuffs themselves are of course adjustable, and I like that. I don't like a big dangly cuff, and for me, a person with long arms who's always finding suit jackets to be too short, these are actually long enough to get down past my hands. And when I've been in a downpour before, I can actually kind of get my hands in here and try to stay as dry as possible. But they work great. Very comfortable with that for actually working when I'm splitting wood, cutting things, running around outside hunting, which I was just doing a little bit ago. I find these to be a really good length for my size. Again, extra large tall, around 250 pounds. I think this is going to be good for you too. The color really pops. It sticks out really well in hunting season, which I plan to use this, as I already said, in hunting season over some other gear, especially on those cooler days, but not cold days. It's not going to keep you warm. That's one thing. It's about 45 degrees out right now. Temperature is dropping pretty quickly. And if I didn't have the sweater underneath here and I was just sitting still, it'd be fairly chilly. It's enough to take the edge off when it's in the 50s and maybe upper 40s. But right about 45, it's just not comfortable when you're static, you're just sitting still. If I'm moving around, then it's actually great. And I don't feel sweaty because of the inner liner and that material against my body. So it's a comfortable jacket. I do like it. I think it's fairly durable. It's gonna fit most people. And I do actually believe it does what it's supposed to and keeps water out. That's all I have to share with you guys. If you have questions about it, go ahead and drop those down below. If there's anything else on the channel that, especially you big guys, have been wondering about, trying to find something worthwhile that's a good quality material, I'll give you all that I can, all the information I have, and let you know where you might find a better deal.